We appreciate you.
Bro. You steak, bro.
All right, and I now have in front of me a spiked hot chocolate to help ease the throat and ease the tensions as we make our way into game number 4, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. Back out onto the breach, baby. Do we know the storm shift?
It's unstable portal.
Unstable portals, game 4. Let's go, baby. We see gold armor in gridlock. 2 teams dropping for it. Looks like it's going to be Help and R&B on the contest there. As Zoe find their way into Mage Bug. Looks like Help kind of gives that up. Going to opt for a Wraith's Row angle. R&B collecting gridlock golds for free.
Now, I respect Help for trying, at least posturing that they were going to make a play, because right now they're hurting. They have to make a move. And whether that's rat for first or we need to eliminate every team in this lobby, respect to them for at least having a game plan of it starts with gold armors. And ultimately, they did lose it. They can't afford to go out in 8th, but A for effort with the attempt there.
Yeah, and sometimes like on a drop like that, if you drop and you see someone else drop and you just don't quite have the angle, like you know they're going to get to that first camp first and you don't have a good angle to the second camp, like it's often just, even if you're still heading that way, good to just call it off right there, head a different direction, find your way to a nearby biome, and especially with less teams on the map, it's going to be a bit safer. So they are going to find their way into Wraiths, going to be able to get that early tempo just fine. And despite not having those golds, but R&B plenty happy.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but just game over. Just gifted, gifted 5 subs to Twin.
Oh,
he deserves it.
I was gonna slide it in when Zick was done and just say, and speaking of that, game over, man. Game over. And it went to Tips out, the playmaker of the last game. Jinjajin, Wubby Bay, OC, and Secundum, who posts a lot of SUPERVIVE content on TikTok. So it went to 5 of the best. Thank you, game over. I freaking love you. And Lurk also subbed to your channel. So congratulations. They are now a sub to Moonlit Battlegrounds.
I mean, you're VIP. You didn't
popping
really
off with the subs. Holy, let's go.
He said earlier he said he gave he's 150 subs in DJ right now. In DJ stream.
And Spy, dude. It's all Moonlit. It's all Moonlit. He's a true like moon child.
I thought I was a Moonlit Battlegrounds fan, but this person has a signed jersey, a flag, and a dry erase board with their season schedule in his living room. Like, that is a fan right there. And speaking of fans, we have Misfit, who will be playing on Saturday, gifting 5 to Zikaric.
No,
shout out to Misfit of Sus, who is their IGL, the playmaker. And it looks like they were fighting over this right here. BBC ends up securing it, and level 6 is Squaw. Flying away, flying to the moon, dashing in, dashing through, dashing into the lava. Down goes Uwaiko, but 2 members of Squaw should be, at least 1 member of Squaw should be able to get away, as BBC, once again, the roommates just being the playmakers.
Yeah, and like we haven't really talked about this game yet because the chat's just popping off. But thank you so much, Misfit, making sure I don't feel left out, Michael. I appreciate it, guys. So again, just the W SUPERVIVE. Huge shout out to you guys in the community. Thank you so much for the support.
And reminder, everybody, if you are not following Zick SUPERVIVE on YouTube, the man posts tutorials, guides, content, constant stuff. In the wake of a lack of content, we have Zick shining bright to help us all out. So thank you for supporting Zikaric, who is on my Mount Rushmore of SUPERVIVE casters and genuinely the person I'm striving the most to be like. So I'm actually trying my best not to fangirl right now being on the mic with you. I'm such a fan. Thank you, Light!
Oh my god, I love you guys. Okay. You guys are the best, and I really appreciate the plug there. But let's get into game 4 here. Okay. So everyone's popping off. Let's see the players pop off.
So one thing I want to point out actually is the team comps here. Help, who hasn't been able to get much going for them, does have a pretty decent comp. They have the CC, they have the damage, they have the sustain, and they have Lurkius Lurker gifting 5 to Zick. So they really do have everything they need to make stuff happen. And my god, Lurkius, please.
5 to Twin, Lurkius Lurker just going crazy in the chat, bro. Non-stop gifted. Huge support for the community. We love you, man. Thank you, man. Crazy, actually crazy.
And I'm not trying to ignore them, but to get back into this, because these players deserve the attention, I promise. Like, Help has a team comp that's indicative of damage, dunks, and wins. And I should have thought of a third D right there, but it wasn't. And domination, we'll say.
Ooh, there we go.
So yeah, damage, dunks, and domination. Let's see if they could get everything going their way, as everybody else is pretty spread out right now.
Yeah, and luckily our players kind of given us a sec to celebrate the the chat here, because not a ton of violence early, a lot of kind of patient play, everyone getting their builds online. Relic spot we see here, BBC positioning around Hatchling, gonna lock in that exotic perk. They do have kind of good position in mana coils with this next shift.
The storm is closing.
And I'm looking at it. It looks like only, I think it was GPS I saw, is the only team kind of outside of the circle, which normally we don't see. Normally you'll see teams kind of posture outside and try to clear up the camps that spawn out there. Oh, sorry, it's also ZOE. It's a little ways out, but they don't really have to worry about that funnel, that corridor of other teams guarding them, because it is only 8 teams. So I like this play. Take your time, stay on the outside, get your goal, get your 9. You're gonna have a path in the zone.
And this is like more what we were sort of expecting with 8 teams in the lobby, a game pace like this, right? Where we see teams kind of spread out, like Luna's showing us here. Early gold farm to 6, you know, get your build online, find your position for day 2 turnover, get a quick 9, and then look to fight. So here we see violence looking to ensue as levels coming online. R&B a little behind, but Show not 9 yet as well either. Looking to duke it out over the relic shop.
And R&B with the gold armors, extra damage reduction, chooses to engage as we do have Felix diving in with an ult, but the dagger does come out. Here comes a clutch heal and damage. Hero drops, and Jay unable to get the damage and the health in that the team desperately needs. Felix goes back in, the shield pull onto 2, but that might be too little too late, as R&B desperate for a move and a higher placement. Their fate lies in the hands of Felix, who is not a very mobile hunter. Zeph Grenade comes down for extra measure, and R&B drops to Shogunate.
Nice try from R&B there. You hate to see, like, you know, them fall that early in like a full squad wipe. It was a nice fight. I think maybe when that first person goes down, looking to out a little bit sooner, possibly keeps them in. But either way, you know, trading blows there are going to go down in the end, fighting over that kind of relic buy, putting us to 7 squads here. As you see another engagement down here in Catacombs, Zoe looking at help. 2 of our squads that are competing for that 6th place spot. Nice punch entry from Proxy, puts him in the wall, answer back, huge! Zeph ult from Pisces Paladin puts Proxy into Wisp, and Shogunate showing up for the 3rd party here, wanting to play around this Meteor Beast.
And that is what Help needed. And did you see the huge Zeph ult come out to heal, keep them in the fight, and knock Proxy? But I love this from Shogunate, pushing them out. 3rd parties on the scene, and you have a not very mobile team comp, but there they go. Wilmender able to get across. I like that wall, forcing really nice the dagger back. Huge, huge, huge play from Tetra, but ultimately they're going to have to concede this Meteor Beast, at least at the moment.
But I love to see, you know, Help kind of like shining their colors here. We saw like towards the bottom of the scoreboard, but not looking like it in this match. A couple nice fights, and they find their way out of Catacombs with 3 here. Sorry, my screen froze for a second. There we go.
Mine as well. And it looks like Squall wants to fight Shogunate, but Shogunate, oh, Squall's getting pushed into Shogunate by BBL. BBL doing a lot of damage. Fluffyon, though, on the Sky Shark, getting nuked. Fly high, Monkey, as they end up getting displaced because of it, and Shogunate taking advantage of the situation, ends up dropping J-Rapo Gata. I think I pronounced that wrong, but whatever. And now Vlad running away, and Shogunate running away with this lobby as they are just winning every fight they come across.
Yeah, Shogunate, like, off of this crown play last game, just surging, looking really strong, kind of maybe got that confidence boost they needed after that Dubski to know that they can kind of run the lobby, and looking like it here. Multiple good fights back-to-back on the micro side of things as they posture over this Meteor Beast. Now, we do see someone on Zoe dying to Abyss, but 3 squads posturing. BBL Fluffyon trying to play this res, gonna look his way out off the top of that big stick with the pod racing. But Shogunate continuing to dominate.
Now, I liked that res attempt because it wasn't quite illegal, but I need to get focused on this because HLP is getting, or they're fighting a war on two fronts against Squaw and BBC. And now Squaw and BBC look at each other, realize we don't really need this. And quick look, I can't tell who got the soul, but Dumpkus got by Shogunat. So Shogunat once again continuing their assaults on every other team.
Yeah, I'm just guessing based on levels that it was Show that picked it up because they are on the 11. GPS now down to 2 members, find their way over to the right here. And we do see the gold armor too, so Shogunat in a very dominant position so far in this lobby. Teams posturing in desert here. We see Zoe fully recovered with Asunder's back on the oath. BBL, we saw retreat from that fight in the south, finding their way north here, want to look for an angle themselves, but not a ton to play for in the middle of the desert here. Now Twin with this day turnover going to be fighting for these few creeps that are around.
Zoe, I wonder how they're going to come back from this because 2 of them only have 1 relic and they don't have much in the way of armors for them. I like that fan. Something as like a little keep away, but BBL having to make a rotation. BBC, good armors. Their builds are set up and they have the high ground. So Squad BBL, that's going to be a very difficult approach into BBC.
Yeah, and this part of the map's so tricky for this phase of the game because there's such a limited amount of creep camps. So we can see all these teams kind of looking for any scraps that are around, but there's really not much. There's like 1 camp to the north in desert. There's like some screamers scattered about, a couple to the south there. It looks like Yoeko maybe caught from BBL. Big shift forward from Fluffyon. Gonna downtown Dragon Staff slam. The Jewel makes it out with the shift though.
Huge heal coming out from Motek, and that grenade pushing Motek's ult to the side so he doesn't hit everybody like he was lined up to. Beautiful. The oath goes down. Ueko somehow dodging that ion cannon from Ghost, but will end up going down. And now Squad taking that unstable portal to the other side, but the hunt is on, and I don't know if Dylan's going to be able to get away from this as all of Shogunat are right there. The stuns are out. The dash is gone. You're on some island. And here comes the ulti, but it misses everybody. And that's what they needed to get the spike. Squaw out at 7th.
Nice try from Dylan there to stay in it. Not going to be enough in the end. They do get knocked out at 7th. Speaking of someone trying to stay in it, we see Dumb Kiss, last member left for GPS, forced through the portal into the arms of 2 teams here, Twin. Wait, no way he makes it out of this. There's no way. Fluffyon says, no way. I'm faster than you, or just as fast. Wukong v. Wukong.
Narrowly dodging, looking like Neo in the Matrix, but ultimately gets hit, goes down, and GPS, like, they're still one of the top placing teams right now, but they've been going out earlier and earlier, it feels like. They've got to, like, is it enough to hold top 6? Possibly, but they really have to figure something out here soon. As now Shogunat going into BBC. Gold armors, lots of damage, the dagger is thrown.
Yeah, fight continue here. Nice avalanche out across the desert from Chef Obreco. Going to split up BBC completely. Big NATO actually from Hestia to get up over the top of that avalanche. Find their way back to their team. So BBC going to be just fine. And look, Twin, Ice Alarm with the Ghost armor shredder rounds with that Rampage are going to be very scary here for this gold armor on the side of the show. Nice grab.
Hook! Oh, the big hook comes in and the CC is there stacking. Somehow Tips out able to dash out. Utilizing the dash healing that they get right there. And I like that Iberico taking the tornado, able to use the orb of life, and they weren't able to stop it thanks to that tornado. That was huge from that brawl to get back online, but no help. There goes the nuke. Nuke misses, but it does displace, and it's enough for BBC to capitalize on it. They stomp the wisp to make sure it doesn't stand back up again. Chef Obreco goes down, but now we've got Tips out with a crown. And that is one person in this lobby that's demonstrated again and again. Do not give them a crown. They'll run away with it, but they run into Zoe.
You're going to try to find their way back out. No, and it looks like BBC peel off of that portal thinking Tips out committed through to the other side and is going to be able to dip his way back through. BBC, you could tell a bit frustrated there, but are able to finally lock in some kills. Some really nice, that Zeph ultimate from Chef Obreco actually going crazy there in that fight for show. So Tips out looking to play this crown angle now. BBC, we're looking very strong with Ice Alarm shredding on that Ghost with armor shredder rounds. Really just dishing out the damage in that fight. And gonna have a good position to the top right here as we do see BBL and help facing off over this forge, and it looks like Help wanting to get in for potential buy while BBL kind of gatekeep.
And I like this as well because, ooh, big ults coming out from both teams. But BBL did have the inside of the storm, and so Help rotating to the north was a really clutch play. But now we have the battle of the double Bs, or B squared, as BBC and BBL run into each other. But no, it's Shogunate distracts them, tipped out, and they realize we can't let this crown pop. 12 seconds left. Is it too little, too late? Tipped out, bit off more than they could chew as they got a little too close. And Shogunate, our winners of the last game, go down.
So BBC find their vengeance back across the map, tips out, runs into him again despite taking that two-way, and BBC finished the job there, eliminating Shogunate, putting us down to 4 squads here. Isolarm doing big work on the Ghost with these armor shredder rounds, just constantly chipping at Shogunate during that fight, looking to do the same to BBL.
I like this rotations that we're seeing, and I love what we're seeing with the unstable portal use. We noticed Tips Out do that with the crown to make it out as long as they could, and now BBC going for their bread and butter, the pajama hooks. It falls just a little short, but BBC's kind of in the middle of 3 teams, but they're muscling out Help, although Help now gets high ground, so really it works out for them.
Yeah, and coming in like to this kind of final, there's going to be really no creep camps to play for. So everyone's going to be looking to level up off of kind of kill farming here. And with only 4 squads left, not going to be a ton of that to play for either. So BBC with this level advantage actually, Twin.
Huge level.
Really nicely into this kind of final 4.
Yeah, Help level 10s and 11s. Oh, level 12 right there. I apologize, but still really hurting. Levels or 11s and 12s. 11s and 12s over there for BBL. Yeah, BBC is sitting pretty. I'd like to see them take this high ground and kind of command it for that extra vision, because the only way they lose this is a 3rd or 4th party, and that high ground controls that vision that they have to worry about. But BBL posturing for a spot against HLP, who is holding out their own on the little island. Bush camping.
Zoe looking for the opportunity here. They jump out to peek. BBC spots it. Proxy looking for the entry maybe before they realize it. Is going to be the end. They had a good spot there, but they didn't have the high ground Twin, so I saw someone jump to look, and that was enough to give away the bush there for Zoe. So they're off to the left. I like them looking to always play around these opportunities, though. Zoe maybe recognizing they're not the strongest team in the lobby. Oh, but they're getting engaged on here from BBC. Really need to fight this out. Oath getting kind of caught there, trying to get his way out with the Bright Shield. Big damage onto Proxy as well, so BBC find a kill, but it's going to get thirded from BBL to the north, and the finish off of, well, I didn't even see what happened to the south there, but Ice Alarm connecting, getting the full squad wipe. Now BBC under big pressure with this BBL third party. Huge damage trade though, as the Bebo goes down, so BBC fighting out of their minds against 3 squads. Here comes Help! BBL to the north, they get 2, but Help is here. Beautiful 4th party, finding BBC, everything on cooldown. They find 1, they find 2. Ice Alarm down, no more armor shredder, Twin. It's just gonna be Hestia, he's gone!
My God, Help! We said you needed to make a play this game. You did a hot drop, made your call, but you have to stop BBL. They realize this, they can't stop it, but hopefully the res sickness is enough. They're able to catch Vlad and really chip away at that health. Vlad trying to get away, but he's not going to have any health potions. Having just come up, and here comes the Tetra attack. Help, this is what you need. This is your moment to get you through to Saturday, but you've got to be smart with your hunt right here. Vlad trying to steal these pots right here, trying to make something happen, but it's the all Help show. Can you pull it off as we have a Tonk Tonk coming in? Tonk Tonk kidnaps one. The dash is out though. Atomic didn't hit anything. How are you going to handle this moment, Help? I don't know if you've been here before.
Dude, you love to see him here now, though. Beautiful 4th party to put him in this position. We see Willamander huge on the Tetra, 3 exotic perks, along with that armor shredder, going to be doing work. And we see kind of trading the exotics around. Willamander picking that 3rd one back up again. But with the red armor, kind of really need to play off of the force of this Tetra. Want to try to get a good engage, have Krista be able to follow up with that ultimate, get an early pick on the BBL in this team fight so you can fight out the rest. But BBL definitely one of our stronger looking squads so far, you know, kind of across the series of games. So Help gonna have their work cut out for them, but definitely not behind anymore, Twin, on power.
I like this play from them, utilizing the Tetra walls to get the high ground early. Unfortunately, Pisces getting a little caught out here, but again, we have no armor on the Bebo, and the attack is coming in, and there's so much damage. onto the Ghost and onto the Bebo, and Help is looking healthy right now. Bebo goes down. Fluffyon fighting for life, and the spike comes out. Huge misstep with the glide over there, but Willamander continuing the assault. Vlad trying to get a heal in, or a res, and they might be able to pull it off. But no, Willamander coming in, dropping one for the effort, for the audacity, the Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this Fluffyon trying to res your teammate. The damage is there. We have a staff over the Abyss, but ultimately they took the overheat damage, and Help comes up huge with a win on game 4.
Let's go, Help. Beautiful showing there. That fourth party, they waited for their window. They find 3 teams fighting in shambles, no health, no cooldowns. The dream for the fourth party, and they execute on it beautifully, Twin. They find the picks they need. They take out the kind of top squad at the time, secure those armor shredder rounds for themselves, despite not being able to stop the res.